Hey, what's up everyone? Today I am making this completely decadent pumpkin donut bread pudding with a sherry cream sauce on top. It is going to be phenomenal. Let's rock it out. I'm going to start off here by cutting up my bread. So I have about a half of a loaf of French bread here, and the best way that I have found to cut it is to cut it into these kind of planks first, stack those up and turn them. Cut like large French fry kind of situations. And then grab those and cut across so that you have cubes. Looking for these to be about this size. They're not all going to be perfect because bread is not a square. You are going to need roughly 7 cups of these cubes all together. Set your bread over to the side and we are going to mix the liquid. In this bowl I am adding 5 eggs, 2 cups of liquid, and this can be cream, half and half, or in this case I'm using whole milk. I would not go anything less than whole milk though, like I wouldn't use skim milk. We have a 15-ounce can of pumpkin puree, and of course you can use homemade if you would like to, and I will leave you a link to how to make your own pumpkin puree. Next I'm adding in 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, 1 cup of shredded coconut, and I did press down on this, it's packed in there. And I happen to have 2 different sizes because that's what I had in the house. So these are like the large flake coconut, and this is the kind of typical baker's coconut. So these are pretty fine shreds and these are kind of chunky. 1 teaspoon of almond extract and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Go ahead and stir this together. And actually I'm going to switch to my whisk. Once you get this mixed together, we are going to add in about 7 cups. You can see that this is not a perfect measurement, but about 7 cups of those bread cubes. I'm going to gently fold this together, but we are not done. Once you have this well mixed, set it to the side. Next, I'm going to cut up about 3 cups of pumpkin donuts. And I am using the regular old school Entenmann's pumpkin donuts. So I'm just going to let these pieces of pumpkin donut hang out here for a minute while I get my topping going. So this is going to be the topping. In this bowl I have half of a cup of brown sugar, 1/4 cup of butter, and a cup of cashews. I'm basically going to use my fingers to just kind of squish and squeeze this around and break up some of the cashews while I'm in there. So I just wanted to show you really quickly what this texture is looking like. You can see that I broke up the cashews into at least halves, and a lot of them are really tiny little pieces because they do break up pretty easily. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the refrigerator because my kitchen is pretty warm and I don't want the butter to like melt too much. I want it to kind of keep this texture. So I'm just waiting on my 15-minute timer for the bread soaking over here. So this has been soaking for about 15 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and again very gently stir it. I don't want my bread tearing. And then I'm going to add in those pieces of pumpkin donuts. And I have approximately 3 cups here. I'm going to give this another nice gentle stir to incorporate the little pumpkin donuts. And then I'm going to let it set for another 5 minutes. So here we are an additional 5 minutes later, a total of 20 minutes, and I am just filling my little baking dishes. This recipe will do a 9 by 13 pan perfectly. However, today I decided to go ahead and use a few different dishes. I have buttered all of these. If you are using a 9 by 13 inch pan, it's going to take about 30 minutes on 350 degrees. And we are still going to make a sauce to pour over top of this, and we do still have to add our topping. These smaller pans obviously are going to take a lot shorter of a time. This one may take 30 minutes. These I'm going to say probably 20 to 25, and this guy I'm going to check around the 15-minute mark. I'm going to go ahead and finish filling these up. I also want to give them a little wipe around the rim just to make them nice and neat. And then I'm going to divide that topping that we made between the 4 of these. These are going into the oven at 350 degrees until they're done. While our bread pudding is in the oven, we're going to go ahead and make the sauce to go on top. So in here I have 1/2 cup of butter melting down. Once that is mostly melted, I'm going to go ahead and add in 1 cup of sugar. Stir that in. And I'm going to stir this until my sugar dissolves. Once this is looking nice and smooth like this, I'm going to go ahead and add in 1/4 cup of milk. And do be careful because it may spatter. I'm going to cook this for about 1 more minute. I have my stove on medium-high, 7.5 out of 10 on my digital stove. So here we are about a minute later. You can see that this has hit a boil and all of my sugar is definitely dissolved. So now I'm going to add in 1/3 of a cup of sherry. And again, be careful because it may spatter. Go ahead and stir this in and remove it from the heat. This sauce is ready. So here we are about 30 minutes later. Add that warm sherry butter cream sauce just before you serve this, and you are going to have one amazing dessert. Hey, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Happy cooking, everyone!